Hello neets. Welcome back to I Talk Anime. Today I am reviewing Sword Art Online Season 2. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. After the polarizing reception to the first season of Sword Art Online, the wildly divisive anime returns for a second season, managing to both improve and disappoint at the same time. With a return of the gorgeous aesthetic and better characterization, the first 14 episodes are a massive improvement over the first season as Kirito, Bryce Papenbrook, returns to the world of VR MMOs. Unfortunately, Sword Art slips back into its old tricks with a lackluster final 10 episodes that feels tonally inconsistent with the rest of the season, ending on a note of disappointment rather than triumph. The story begins 2 years after the events of Sword Art Online, when a wildly popular MMO called Gale Online sees a fighter die in real life after being killed in-game by a shadowy figure called Death Gun. With rumors running amok, Kirito is called upon to check out the validity of these claims, hunt down Death Gun, all whilst trying to avoid getting killed in the process. After the disappointing end to the first season, Sword Art Online reinvents itself with a darker, more mature approach to its narrative whilst introducing us to cool-headed sniper Sinon, Miyuki Sawashiro, who does a great job of filling Asuna's role from last year as the strong, independent female. There's no time jumps in sight, a cohesive, easy-to-follow narrative and some good work done to establish Gale as a living, breathing virtual space. It's here that it feels like the creators have really taken fan feedback on board and created a vision of what the show potentially could have achieved in the first season, and it absolutely deserves credit for the well-written Gale Online story arc. Unfortunately, it's here that Sword Art Online decides to change the show completely, abandoning the foundations it built up as a darker, more serious anime with real stakes to return to the respawning, no-consequence fantasy fairy world from the first season. The entire mood of Sword Art changes completely here, exacerbated by a brand new opening title credits, art style and simplistic plot. The story during the last 10 episodes see Kirito and his group of friends hunting for the legendary sword Excalibur while tackling monsters. On its own, the story is certainly serviceable, but next to the emotionally charged Gale Online, the plot lacks any sort of emotional consequence for any of the characters. It's such a shame, as for the first 14 episodes this season are gripping, exciting and easy to ignore any niggling plot issues thanks to the absorbing story and interesting dynamic between Kirito and Sinon. Visually, Sword Art Online is outstanding again, and the consistency with the art style is the one constant that makes this such a beautiful anime to watch. The voice acting is good too, and even Kirito is developed a little better this year compared to last, making it all the harder to end feeling disappointed rather than elated with the direction Sword Art Online 2 takes. Sword Art Online 2 feels like a reinvigorated show for the first 14 episodes before stumbling over its progress and tumbling back to square one for a lackluster, disappointing second half. This is made all the more frustrating by just how much Sword Art improves from the first season. From the removal of time jumps to the more cohesive, easy-to-follow storyline right up to the high-stake tension and better characterization, Sword Art Online feels like a much improved show. Had the second season ended when the Gale Online storyline finished, then this season would be easy to lavish praise on, but seeing this anime take one step forward before falling back into old habits with the tonally jarring return to is a real shame. Much like the first season, there are redeeming features to this anime, but it's squandered by some questionable decisions that unfortunately make Sword Art Online 2 more flawed than it has any right to be. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.